Are you a new or returning player coming back into Battlefront 2 in 2025? Well, don't fear, because this is the series for you. Welcome to the How To series, where we break down every hero in Battlefront 2, from the dark side to the light side, from saber heroes to blaster heroes. This is the series for you. We will break down every single hero's star cards, abilities, general kit, and strengths and weaknesses. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
Hello everybody, my name is Swag and welcome back to another hero guide video where in today's video we are going to be talking about Kenobi. With his abilities, his star cards and his general play styles, this will be all summarized in one nice single video. And as always, we are going to first start off with his abilities. So first, all out push. The lessons of the Jedi mantra inspire Obi-Wan to resolve conflict without emotion, pushing back his attackers and extending his reach. It's basically a force push attack, but unlike most force abilities, this one you can fully charge up. So the more you hold it, the more range it gets. And the less you hold it, the more shorter the force push is. So generally in most dueling scenarios, you will be doing the more less charged force push. If you use the really longer charge for the force push, it's very readable and very easy to block, so not very good to fully charge it up, but occasionally it's good. You know, it's like a force push. You can knock people off the map, kill some people with it. It's fine. I wouldn't say it's one of the best force pushes, to be honest, just because that charge that you have to do kind of feels a little bit slow. And after coming back from Luke and Maul, playing Kenobi it's been a bit slow, but you know, I just need something I need to get used to. Anyway, all out push, decent ability, I'd say. Now for Kenobi, his main sort of kit and the main powerhouse of Kenobi's abilities is his restrictive mind trick. A Jedi's mastery of the Force can influence the weak-minded, and in that case of Master Kenobi, even subvert his enemies' desires to use their abilities against him. So what this basically does is when you use the mind trick on opponents who are not knocked down, this will be key, but when you use it on an opponent who is blocking, standing up, and all that good stuff, jumping in the sky, they will get their abilities grayed out, which basically means they aren't able to use their abilities for some period of time. And obviously you can extend that period of time with cards. The nice thing about this mind trick is it can really stop those aggressive plays that people can make. If you're looking at people who are very reliant on abilities, who are very aggressive and offensive with their abilities, like Vader, because you don't want to get hit by that choke combo. Using the mind trick is really good at stopping that for a few seconds so that you can calm down. Maybe if they're being really aggressive, you can mind trick them, then back away, recover your stamina, recover your health. Because Kenobi's health regen is absolutely insane. It's one of the best in the game, with cards as well, very strong. You can also use the mind trick offensively. Let's say you're playing maybe a Kylo Ren who has his freeze, using the mind trick on him, now he can't use his freeze, and now you can go for more aggressive plays because you know he can't freeze you for some period of time until the mind trick wears off. So it's great for actually offense and defense. And now his right ability, his defensive rush. Obi-Wan demonstrates his bravery by surging towards any enemies foolish enough to cross his path, deflecting blaster fire as well as choosing to deliver a final strike at any time. If you play Rey, it's sort of like a slower version of Rey's left ability where she does her charge attack, and then you can do a follow-up attack with that. It's sort of the same thing, except with defensive rush with Kenobi's right ability, it's a little bit slower than that, which is like kind of the downside of this ability. It's slower than Rey's left ability, and it's okay as far as the damage goes and the fact that you can do a follow-up attack. And the nice thing about defensive rush is that you are immune to basic attacks by enemies. So when you use defensive rush and someone's, let's say a Vader, he swings his lightsaber at you like 5 times, you will not take any damage when you use defensive rush. For some reason, this is a thing that's been in the game for a while until they changed the defensive rush, because it used to have a different animation. But with this defensive rush, you are immune to all lightsaber attacks until the very end of the defensive rush. Well, until the defensive rush expires. So you have about a decent 4-second window of just pure immunity to basic attacks. You are not immune to abilities, so you can still get hit by chokes, freezes, force pulls, choke pushes, and lightsaber throws. You're not immune to abilities, but you're just immune to lightsaber swings. So that is some benefit to that defensive rush. And at the end of the defensive rush, you can also do a finishing move or like a little spinny animation. It does a bit of damage. If you want to, you can. But it's kind of, it holds you in an animation for about a second or two. So you want to be careful and make sure you don't get caught out by like a choke at the end of the animation, because it is a little bit lengthy and every second counts in dueling. So those are his abilities. Pretty decent, right? Now moving on to his specialty, which is his cards. Oh, there's a lot of different playstyles you can do with Kenobi, so let us begin. With his first card, Jedi Resilience. Obi-Wan Kenobi has increased max health regen, which goes up by 100 with purple cards. With all heroes, you want to make sure you level them up to level 25, which is when you can begin to upgrade 2 purple cards. So that means you would need to get 3 cards up, so level 25, level 26, level 27. So when you get to level 27, you should have all the main 3 cards that you want on Kenobi upgraded for, let's say, HVV or Hero Showdown. So for all these cards, you want to make sure you have purple cards, ideally. But if you're kind of still low level, just put it on the main cards you're going to use more frequently. Because some of these cards you don't actually want to use that often, like Critical Deflection, for example. But we'll get onto that later. Jedi Resilience is an extremely good card because Obi-Wan has the world's best health regen in this game. If you chip away about half of Kenobi's HP, he will recover all of that with this card. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's probably a no-brainer for most players to honestly put, because it just makes your life so much easier. You can play a bit more aggressive since you know you're going to recover more of that health later on, so it allows for more offensive plays to be played with him. And as always, the strongest defense is a swift and decisive offense, like my man Kenobi said in the Clone Wars. So this is a very good card. Next up, you have Perfect Defense. I used to run this card instead of playing with these two down here, but I used to go with something like Safeguard, not really Safeguard, but I would run these two, Jedi Resilience and Perfect Defense, all the time back in the day. Now, not so much. Now I kind of play around this, but basically this states that blocking lightsaber and blaster attacks drains less stamina. Amazing. You know, in duels, and I've said this before, the main criteria of a good card setup is if you can take less, or if you drain less stamina, if you can get more health regen, or get damage reduction. Those are generally cards that are absolutely supreme and reign among all the other cards, because they're just so passive and so simple to use. Like, there's no skill required. It's just you intrinsically get more health. You intrinsically get more health regen. It always happens within the duel, and there's not a scenario where you don't use that card correctly. Getting Perfect Defense with Kenobi and just absolutely blocking every single attack, blasters, lightsaber swings, it's so good. You can literally like hold your own against 3 or 4 lightsaber swings pretty well. And the nice thing about Kenobi with this card is it allows you to play into more parries, because parrying, you drain more stamina, right? You got to block, then you got to attack, then you got to block again, right? Those 3 instances in under a second, which means you'll be draining a lot of stamina. So Perfect Defense allows you to play into more parries, which is good, because Obi-Wan has really, really strong defense in this game. With this card, it's honestly very, very nice as well. Give it all. All Out Push has a longer base range. This will increase the charge up range even more. This is aight. I wouldn't really use this in HVV or Hero Showdown because, like I said, the disadvantage of All Out Push is that you have to charge it up, right? And if you're charging it up to the max range, really you're only doing that against like Boba players, to be honest, or players who are very far away from you. So there isn't really much scenario where you do use this card correctly in HVV, apart from if they're very far away. But generally speaking, you don't really want to charge up the all-out push. This card, however, is good for like Galactic Assault or Supremacy, those game modes where you need to hit more enemies that are further away to get a little bit more XP or something like that. This card is actually pretty good. But you do need to pair it up with another card, which I'll go on to later. Think It Over. Enemies are affected by restricted Mind Trick for a longer time. The Mind Trick is supreme. If you can increase the duration of Mind Trick, that's also very good. So that surely makes sense for it to be a really good card. And it is something that I did run for my new Kenobi build. I would do Jedi Resilience, think it over, and then either have perfect defense or forward, because I know how to manage stamina a little bit better. But for new players, run perfect defense is probably a good idea. But think it over is something I do run now, because the mind trick is really good. I play into it more, and just having a longer mind trick duration, even though it's 1.4 seconds, that's still pretty decent, and that can stop a lot of offense in however long that time is. Like, I think it's 7 seconds or 8 seconds of mind trick, so that's pretty long. And that's a pretty good time to recover health or play on the offense and do some damage. Next up, Safeguard. After blocking 5 blaster shots, 2 abilities, or lightsaber attacks with his block, Obi-Wan gains a permanent reduction of 2% to all his stamina costs to a maximum. This effect resets when he is defeated. Basically, it means you drain less stamina when you're getting attacked with abilities, blasters, or lightsaber swings, which is good. This seems a bit overkill, running perfect defense and safeguard, honestly. But I mean, if you want to, this could be like a good kit setup, just to run Jedi Resilience, perfect defense, and safeguard, like to become the absolute monstrous tank of blocking and taking damage. Which, I mean, if you want to run that, you can. It can make for a pretty fun parry sort of build that you can do with him. But like some people, if you think you can manage stamina effectively, this is a bit overkill, to be honest, and it's not necessary. If you are playing, let's say, maybe a Galactic Assault, where everyone's going to be shooting at you, and with Obi-Wan's really strong stamina, this card will pretty much go up to the maximum very quickly. Especially if like a heavy class unloads with you with his minigun and stuff like that, this can ramp up really quickly. So you can actually get pretty decent stamina very quickly. As far as in HVV and like Hero Showdown, this card might be less effective. It's kind of similar to Anakin's stamina card, Steamroll, except this is where Kenobi has to defend, and with Anakin you need to attack. So in HVV, it's kind of a bit slower to start up. But still not a bad card. It's a stamina card. It's very useful. Quicken Focus. The charge up time of All Out Push is slightly shorter. Now, this is where I mentioned that another card would be useful. Forgive It All. If you are going for the increased range play with All Out Push, you definitely want to have Quicken Focus. Because especially if you get it to purple card where you get a reduced time of half a second, that's going to be really useful when you have a lot of range, because that means you'll be able to get to max range very quickly, which will enable you to potentially hit more troops in like Galactic Assault, or when you're in a hallway and there's people really far away and you need to get that all-out push going. These two cards synergize very well with each other. As far as on its own, it's fine. It's just the only thing is that the all-out push is not really that great until you give it more range. Then it's pretty good in trooper modes, but on its own, but still on its own, getting less time to charge it up is better than having more time to charge it up. So it's still decent of a card, but I don't really see anyone running this in like HVV or like Heroes vs. Villains or Hero Showdown. This is more for like Galactic Assault and Supremacy. More of that sort of build. Forward. Defensive Rush Lightsaber hits deal more damage. This is an interesting one. Forward is actually not bad in both Trooper modes and HVV. Because you can... So we're saying we can do 40 extra damage. Now, we know that Defensive Rush does 2 bits of damage. You have the initial, like, where he runs up and charges at everyone. And then he has his finisher, which is him spinning around. So both of those doing 40 extra damage, so that's 80 plus more damage to a hero, which is actually pretty good, given that final little spin attack that he does is not necessarily always going to land. So it could be you're only doing 40 extra damage, but still extra damage is extra damage, and it's pretty useful to have. Defensive Rush, like I said, makes you immune to all attacks. So if they're just blindly swinging into you, they're going to get hit by this attack, and so they're just going to take 40 extra damage. And if they're continuously swinging while you do your finisher, there's more damage for you to deal to them. So it's a pretty good card. And it's very good in Trooper mode. I believe this one-shots all infantry apart from heavy, so very good card to have. More doubts. Restrictive Mind Trick has a longer range. 50% at purple card, which is very good. Longer range, if you're maybe going against multiple opponents, like you see a Maul in the distance getting ready to do a charge attack or something like that, or do a spinny spin, and then hitting him with a mind trick, so then you can run away, or it depends on the scenario. If you're going against like 4 people, more range isn't necessarily important in duels because you're always going to be close up to someone. So this is kind of like a waste. I can see the benefit if you're playing HVV and you have multiple opponents who are very spread out from each other. So this can potentially tag more opponents in the mind trick. But it's generally a card I don't run. I don't exactly know how good it is in the trooper modes. Since enemies are very spread out, this could be quite useful. But yeah, I don't. It's not a card I see regularly used, at least in HVV. So there's that. Critical Deflection. Blaster shots deflected by defensive rush do more damage. I remember this card used to be something different, and I don't remember what it was. But this is not great for both HVV and probably trooper modes as well. The deflection isn't necessarily accurate, so even though you're deflecting shots, it's not necessarily gonna all the pellets, all the blaster shots are not necessarily gonna 100% of the time deflect back at the opponent. So you have a bit of like chance there and a bit of luck and RNG needed to actually deflect it back at the opponent. But also it's just, you'd probably be better off, instead of running critical deflection, just run forward. I mean, you're going to be playing up close range, you're not necessarily just going to be deflecting from afar. So probably it'd be better off to, instead of using critical deflection, just go for forward. But yeah, I don't see this card ever getting used as far as HVV goes, and I don't know how people think about this in trooper modes, but I don't believe it's very good because the accuracy is not great. But that's all his cards. Now let's go into the setup of his HVV Hero Showdown cards, which you can do pretty. You can do a decent amount if you want to go for the absolutely crazy tank build with obviously health regen. You want to do Jedi Resilience, Perfect Defense, and Safeguard. If you think your stamina is really good, I would still recommend having Jedi Resilience because regenerating so much of your health is just blows my mind. Something I've been doing is forward and think it over. Having the mind trick for a longer duration is always useful. And stamina isn't so much of a problem with me and Kenobi, especially in one-on-one duels. It's actually pretty easy to recover stamina if you just back away and mind trick them. So it's very good for this sort of defensive play style to recover stamina that way. So you don't really need perfect defense or safeguard for this build. Forward is just good for just having more damage with your right ability. But honestly, there's so many cards that you could do for HVV. Like you could maybe go into a push build, but actually having push isn't really ideal. I don't think you don't want give it all. You could maybe argue for quick and focus, but generally you either want perfect defense, maybe not that one. Think it over, safeguard, forward, and that's probably it for dueling. For one-on-one dueling. HVB, you could maybe argue having more doubts would be better. Maybe having quick and focus could be better. Definitely don't run critical deflection. Definitely do forward. When you're doing more bigger scale game modes, these cards become more better to use and more ideal. For one-on-one dueling, you could argue this would be a good setup, or you could do something like what I'm doing right now, which is with Think It Over. But a lot of, maybe majority of players and what I used to run was just safeguard, perfect defense, and Jedi Resilience. So that might be a good idea for you as well. For trooper modes, this is an interesting one, or co-op or supremacy, whatever you're doing. What is the best play for Kenobi? Well, you could go something into quick and focus, give it all, and forward. The force push can one-shot infantry, I think, fully charged, apart from the heavy class, or does it one-shot heavy? I actually don't know. It's been a while since I did trooper modes like co-op supremacy with Kenobi, because everyone's dodging around and like dodging the force push anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I'm pretty sure it one-shots everything apart from heavies. If the heavies don't die, you can then push with forward and then one-shot them. So it's pretty good. Forward with this card actually also one-shots infantry as well, so this is very nice to have. in case you miss your all-out push, then you can go with a forward and finish off any troops that may have dodged away. We are not using Jedi Resilience for this sort of offensive build, which might be a bit difficult to use in that case, so you could maybe swap something out. Maybe you don't want to play into forward. That's completely fine. I don't think stamina is really too important in trooper modes because there's so much cover available to you to hide behind, so maybe running perfect defense is not necessary, or maybe running safeguard isn't necessary. You could even do something like Jedi Resilience, perfect defense, and safeguard in the trooper modes, but if you're really trying to be offensive and trying to kill as much things as you possibly can, forward, quick and focus, and give it all is probably going to be a good idea. I don't think you want to play into the mind tricks, to be honest, in the trooper modes, because that troopers just die so quickly, and so it could be a waste of an ability, or card space to use on just one ability. But the force push is definitely something you want to play into, and you definitely want to play into this. So quick and focus, forward, and give it all definitely is a good idea. So that is his card breakdown, and to be honest, I want to say Kenobi is definitely one of the best duelists by far. His stamina is incredible, his health regen is incredible. You can definitely do some incredible parry plays with him, and I think that's what you probably want to try and play into with Kenobi, is just playing into his parries. Learn how to parry, and having these cards on definitely helps you. These Jedi Resilience, Perfect Defense, and Safeguards will definitely help you understand parrying more. It will help you gain more, help you with the stamina drain, so you're not losing as much stamina, so you can parry even further, and for a longer duration. So that's a pretty good setup. But the cards I'm running on Kenobi right now for HVV and dueling is Think It Over, Forward, and Jedi Resilience. Everyone has a different build, guys. Let's not shit on every single fucking bad choice I make or whatever. This is just a build that works for me and I know how to use. I don't think stamina is too important on Kenobi, in my opinion, in my play style, and I prefer having these cards instead. So that's been Kenobi's breakdown as far as his cards go, as far as his abilities go, and his incredible health regen and stamina. Here's his appearances, by the way. Jedi robes is something I usually switch to, but General Kenobi is obviously the one you gotta go for, man. The classic Clone Wars look. And of course, we will jump into a HVV game just to show off the plays. I think I did play with some buddies though this time, so.
What the fuck?
What the hell?
Can't need to watch your Anakin guide low key. Wow.
Oh shit. Vader is a bad matchup.
500 of my HPs now. That's quite alright. What the holy glitch? This Boba Fett is so ass.
Oh, golly.
Oh, it's cooking.
The more you hook swing, the more better you get at doing them.
And I'm on the one with Vader. Nice one, buddy. Come on.
Golly. Is he giving up? Oh my god! It's so satisfying to hit.
Come on.
My opponent here is bleeding. Oh shit.
Follow Elite, bro. Shut your ass up. Why is the Vader off on me?
All too easy.
Oh, look at them flipping away, rushing to a fucking thing.
Be careful.
I'm headed. Oh, I don't know how to get it. Look, I'm closer to the TV.
Lean forwards on my gaming chair.
You're leaning forwards.
No, I'm resting. This isn't me leaning forwards. This is me chilling.
So you're not even on.
Yes,
He's not using his full power.
that is
It's
correct.
60%. Oh.
No.
Oh, I don't think so.
I haven't catch anyone. Oh, I got a Vader. How much damage does that even do?
Not as much as it used to back in the day.
Oh! That's getting clipped.
What happened?
And best fixing I've ever had ever.
Oh no, I want to see it.
My 1 HP Vader. Am I dying?
God damn it, I got chased.
Oh my. Let me get Vader, man. After that. Oh! I got frozen.
There's no death, there is the force. You seem a little on edge. I haven't felt you like this since we fell into that nest of gun.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Dude, I just... What the shit?
Come on, no! One side's out of bounds. He's over here. No one?
Surrender. You'll be given no.
So this guy is just running for his life.
You are fighting for the wrong.
I might just have this for Kenobi.
Dying will continue until your killing improved by 50%.
Oh, goodness, actually gonna improve. That's not.
I am
What
not
the
your enemy.
Oh, you can't put your turret down. Dude, oh shit. Let me just deflect all of that.
Let me just pull up. What?
That's not shooting me.
Where did she go? I see.
Chosen one, countless victims.
Oh, he's waiting for me to... Oh, there we go. He's waiting for me to unblock so he could choke. Something about Vader players is too easy to read.
Holy moly.
There is no passion, there is serenity.
Come on.
Oh, we're just trying to.
Oh, got a spamming leaper over here. Finn's got him. The power of aim assist.
Okay, buddy.
How did that not connect well? There we go.
That's not very nice of them.
I've never really gone
I'm gonna kill you both now. Oh, that's one.
All too easy.
This guy's so low. Quick swing, maybe? But you gotta kind of look down then. Ooh.
Master Whip weren't ready for this.
Yeet. Well, but
I thank the stars Qui-Gon never saw what
Throw
you
it down last. Bomba Fett. Darth Diddley. Turn around, bro.
nice. All too easy.
See a running in. Oh. Dodge. I was supposed to know this thing. I was just behind you. Whoa, what the hell? Bunny hump. The signal?
Bunny hump.
answer for your
Bunny
Oh hell no.
Unless this. I need to make the range on my all longer.
Hey.
Good doing, bro. Oh no, the way he's looking at me.
Go, come.
Enthusiastic newcomer Finn.
Nice.
To make
Very
a
nice,
name
very
for himself.
nice.